In the recent days, I have been receiving a lot of questions. You guys asking me to comment or actually to share my opinions about deportation in Turkey for foreigners, especially Africans. Like my African brothers and sisters, you have been requesting me to actually make this video and actually just to give my opinion and highlight what's going on in Turkey. Why are people being sent back to their countries or being deported? What is this about resident permit and all those questions? Now I'm gonna give my own opinions according to me, and it is your duty to do your own research about the same topic and find out what is going on here. Or if you're interested in Turkey or if you are living in Turkey, you must have seen a lot of things going on here. So let's dive into the video, and I'm gonna be sharing my opinions and letting you know why people are being deported according to me and according to my understanding, the reasons, some of the reasons, and how you can avoid them as an African, okay, or as a foreigner living here in Turkey. Okay, so welcome to my channel. For many years, Turkey has been struggling in terms of actually economy, and also apart from the economy, there are other stuff that have been affecting the country in terms of politics, in terms of refugees, and all those things. Okay, just like in other countries, and also in terms of immigration. Now, in the recent years, the government of Turkey has been also cracking down in terms of immigration or immigrants, and we have seen a lot of things or a lot of changes in the recent days, whereby the government even deny or just closed some district in terms of giving resident permits. For instance, in Istanbul, there was said, or the government closed almost 10, some reporters say to even more than 10 districts that were actually closed in terms of issuing new resident permit to foreigners. And it has been a very tough times to foreigners, especially those who are living in Istanbul, and even some of them have been deported or reportedly deported or taken to deportation stations because of one reason or another. Now, I want to just quickly share with you some of the reason why a country can deport you. Now, we have also seen, or I have also witnessed, or maybe even seen some of my African brothers being deported. And some of the reasons why I want to share with you, reasons why you might be deported, okay? The very first one is actually staying on an overstay, like overstaying on your visa. Okay, you know very well that you came on maybe touristic visa, which is its purpose is actually to visit the countries, see the beautiful places, do your stuff within that short period, and then go back to your country. Or if you have other things that you want to do, maybe you want to work, then follow the right procedure, like acquiring the company that will process your work visa and then settle legally. Okay, or if you have other plans, you do it legally. But when you overstay on your visa and then you don't do anything, you don't renew, or you don't find other ways to stay in the country legally, then if the police finds you, or if the government finds you, it has a right to actually deport you, because this is their own country. And every country, even as in African, like a Kenyan, we also have our regulation when it comes to actually foreigners. Now, some of the people who are being deported, it's not only about Africans, okay? Africans are just a few of them. As much as I know, there are Syrians who are being deported, there are Iranians, there are Iraq, there are Pakistans, there are other nationalities who are being deported. And by the way, this thing about deportation and refugee in Turkey, it has not started recently. It started a long time ago. It is a war that has been there. The struggle that has been there, Syrians and them fighting, and the government and the blah blah blah. So it has been a very big challenge in Turkey in terms of actually economy, in terms of actually even the national resources. That's why the government, or the government of Turkey, might be wanting to protect its country, just like the way we other countries can do, or we Africans can do the same thing to our country when it comes to foreigners. Now, that being said, like I said, the very first thing you might have to be deported, it is when you overstay on your visa. Okay. Number two, the reason why the government can have a right to deport you: when you commit a crime. You kill a person, you fight someone, and then you do some other shady stuff or any crime, any violence, you beat someone's daughter without any permission, you do anything as a foreigner, you have a right to be deported back, to go to your country. Go take this bad behavior to your own country. Okay. So that is another reason. Don't do crime in Turkey. They're gonna deport you if the police gets you. Okay. Now, let's say for instance, you came on a touristic visa, you overstay, and then you find a job and then start working. You have not processed any work permit or work visa permit. Or your employer has not helped you to actually acquire this visa when it comes to work. And then you just settle, and then you continue with your stuff, and then one day the police comes, ask, or maybe something happens, they ask for your residence permit, or they ask for your documentation, and then they found out that you are illegally working in Turkey. They have a right to actually deport you back to your country, because it is a rule. You cannot work illegally. Okay, people are working. A lot of foreigners who are here, they are working illegally. And that is why you understand, as a person, you will understand that the government can also have its own measures when it comes to actually protecting the country in terms of resources. Because when the people are working, people are doing this and this, and we have limited resources, then what will happen even to the locals? Okay. It's gonna be a very big challenge. That's why they have started with Istanbul, which is a very big city, a large city, in fact, in Turkey, and it has a lot of foreigners, a lot of people who are living there. Okay, so that's what I wanted to say. Now, let's move on to a third reason why the country has a right to deport you. It is when you are actually engaging in illegal activities or illegal businesses. What I mean is when you start selling drugs, when you do some stuff that are not good illegally, when you start smuggling, in terms of actually smuggling even people, when you do sell products or things that have been prohibited here in Turkey, then they have a right, if they find you, they have a right to actually send you back to your own country. And I'm not saying that these people who have been deported, some of these reasons, it is why they are actually, like it is all the reasons why they have actually been deported. No. Like I said, most of Africans who have been deported or who are in deportation station, they do not have legal documentation, like they do not have legal documents to stay in Turkey. I know 90% of my brothers and sisters who are Africans, they are good people, they are not terrorists, okay? Which brings me to my fourth reason why a country has a right to deport you. It is when you engage in terrorism. You are a threat to the public safety. They're gonna deport you. They know that this person is very dangerous. Maybe you have been appeared in several crimes, and then you are actually going to be deported because you are a threat to people. You can kill people, you can murder, you can do anything. So you need to go back where you came from. Okay, so that is another reason why the country can the country can deport someone. Now, coming to my other reason why the country or Turkey can actually, not only Turkey but most country will actually deport you, it is because you are a burden to the what do we call, you are a burden to the resources of the national people. Maybe there are a lot of people who are congested and we have limited resources, and you are not bringing in anything good. Instead, you are actually sitting on their resources, and it will be very big burden. Then they have a right to actually deport you back to your country. Okay, now coming to my next point, why the country or Turkey can actually deport you is when you are actually doing what? When you are selling things that have been prohibited. The thing I already mentioned it. Okay, so these are some of the, just some some, not all of them, some of the few reasons why I think the country has a right to deport you back to your country, whether you are a refugee or whether you are a foreigner and you're living in Turkey and you are engaging in some of these activities, like I said, then they can actually deport you. Now, how can you avoid this? It is very simple. Follow the law. Make sure before you come to Turkey, you are doing your research in terms of documentation, in terms of the permit, the visa. What kind of visa are you going to acquire? Make sure that the agents that you are using, if you are Kenyan or if you are African or wherever, make sure that you are using the right agent that will actually guide you so that you can acquire work permit, visa when you want to work in Turkey legally. Okay, and if you are coming on a touristic visa, make sure that you are following the law and also you are following the rules according to the employment or the Ministry of Foreigners here. Okay, now, like I said, do not engage into illegal activities, do not smuggle, do not kill people, do not commit crime, do not abuse drugs. I have said that several times. And just be a good person, and also do not actually engage into things that are not good. I have seen a lot of people, especially my Africans, they know very well they don't have that ikamet, or yeah, I think they call it ikamet in Turkish, that resident permit you don't have, then you are going to enjoy yourself. It is summertime, to the cruise, like to the boat, and you are a lot of Africans there. You don't have any resident permit, and you know very well you are illegal in the country. Try to avoid this kind of activities. If you can enjoy yourself, but not in not too much of you at one place, because if something happens and the police comes, they're gonna easily target you. Okay, so try as much as possible to do your own stuff as a person alone, not too much of people at the same time, at the same place. Now, another very important thing, if you happen to come to do business, be sure what kind of business are you doing. I know a lot of brothers and sisters who are from Africa who are doing business here in Turkey. They are good people, and some of them, they came here to do business, to buy products from Turkey and send them to Africa. Some of them, they are students. I have a lot of students who are actually my friends, and they are studying here. They are doing their stuff. So make sure that you are following the law, you are not going into crimes, and just be a good person to the country and avoid these bad things so that you are not deported. Make sure that you have the right resident permit, the right, you are coming on a right visa, like I said, and then everything gonna be well. Another very key element I want to mention is try as much as possible to actually learn the local language. It's going to help you in terms of problem solving. If you have a problem, you can easily engage or negotiate with the police. If they find you, you can actually explain to them, okay, I came on a touristic visa, but I have applied for my resident permit and this has happened. Because remember, it is in Turkey or Turkey. You don't expect everybody to be talking English the way you are used to. So make sure that you are learning their local language. And also, a very important thing I want to mention is try as much as possible to acquire other skills so that you can go to other countries if you are a person who want to travel or who want to live abroad or who want to reside in other countries. And something else which is more even better is you can even utilize your own skills to your own country. Instead of coming to Turkey and getting all this and the wahala, this and this, try as much as possible to utilize these skills in your own country, which I know it is not it is a big challenge, because we know our countries, we don't have much in terms of employment, and the salaries, maybe they might be very small, which I totally understand. So try as much as possible to utilize also your skills or acquire more skills, more education, and also go to other countries that are paying or that are actually giving you more in terms of actually just being a foreigner. Okay, now I'm gonna end the video. If you have any questions, you have any opinions, we can discuss in the comment section. And also something I have to actually add is that remember to be respectful as much as possible, like respect everybody's opinion the way I always respect you guys. And I'll see you next in my next videos. Until next time, bye bye.